Hey there, I'm Erica.
And I'm Tina.
And we are Mary Mary. Hey, make sure you watch season 3 of Mary Mary on WeTV at 9 p.m. And by the way, you're watching MadameNoire.
Yeah, while Erica's been doing her solo stuff, I've been recovering from a very devastating year myself. You know, my husband and I dealt with some issues in our relationship, infidelity and things of that nature, and I decided to forgive my husband and fight through it. Had no idea what that fight was going to be like. If I knew, I probably wouldn't have wanted to do it in front of the world on my TV show, but a lot of times when you give a yes, you're not fully aware of all that yes entails, and my yes to forgiveness, and yes, let's bring the cameras in. And I think while I'm trying to heal, it might be helpful to, you know, let other people see it, and it might be healing for them. And I didn't know I was going to be breaking down and falling apart and feeling like I was losing my mind.
My husband wasn't faithful to me while I was on the road.
All these years that I spent with you was a lie, and it hurts!
I gotta stand in front of these people and be inspirational. I am so broken.
But through that process, I had to find something to hold on to, and I realized that my faith was not as strong as it was on the stage. And so I had to run to what my foundation is and get reconnected, because I was like, clearly I'm disconnected. I'm here now smiling, but before I was here, I was all the way there. Let's just say that. And so I had to reconnect with my faith and remind myself of who I was. It connected me to the Bible. And I found in the Bible things that I had not found before, passages that I had read that didn't mean much to me. And I would read it over myself, and I would write it down, and I would confess it over myself. It was kind of my conversation with God. Never ever meant for anybody to ever see this. It was me talking to God in the rawest, most purest Tina and my God kind of form, trying to get my head right. It was first something that took maybe 7 minutes to read, then it ended up being 20 minutes to read, then it ended up being 30, then it ended up being about 45, and it was just for me. I told my lawyer about it one day, and he said, that's a book. You should let that help somebody else the way it helped you. So basically my conversation with God through my worst year of my life and how I'm able to smile today is going to be a book. It's not titled as of right now, and I do not have a release date. However, I believe it will be out this year. And I think people need to see what real life looks like. It's not all this, Heavenly Father, I'm in a bad way. Like, God, I'm finna take somebody, I look like I ain't gonna come to see you. I'm probably gonna go to hell, but before I leave, I'm taking some people with me. Either you're gonna help me, or this is the way it's gonna be. This is the way I was talking to God, because I was in a bad space. Like, if you don't come help me, I'm going down in flames, and you probably gonna be embarrassed, because they used to know me as a gospel singer, and I'm finna be wilding out because I'm hurting and I'm finna hurt somebody. It was that bad. I made the decision to go public with what happened in my life, my husband's infidelity, because I didn't want to be hostage to what if somebody find out, and yada yada yada, and there's other people involved. What if they try to use this against me and I'm a celebrity, and then I'm sitting up here trying to hide and cover up, and I'm shamed and embarrassed. I'm like, let's just be embarrassed, let's just be ashamed, let's just put it out there, and hopefully, hopefully heal, and maybe somebody can heal while they're watching me try to heal. That was my logic. I didn't really think it out thoroughly, and if I had thought it out thoroughly, I'd have been like, you never tell anybody this. Like, you're gonna look like a fool. You was all about you and your marriage, and everybody started to know you as the Mary that really loves to be married and her family and all, and now you don't got one. If I knew it was gonna be this bad and I was gonna be falling apart while I'm taping this TV show, I probably would have told the TV show, it's a wrap. The last season was your last season, gone.
I would call and be like, yeah, so you're gonna be all right, you're gonna make it, and everything's gonna be fine. And sometimes she wanted to hear that, sometimes she didn't. And I would get off the phone and literally crumble and be at home crying, going, what in the world is happening to my sister? Or I'd talk to her on the phone and she'd be in such a low place. One of the times I literally was on the phone screaming, Tina! Because I never heard her sound this dark or heavy before. And I think it was...
Can I be honest? She was screaming, Tina, come back! Come back!
She was turning toward the dark side.
Y'all, I was all the way there.
And
I was dang near all the way there. And what's crazy is her screaming stopped something in me, and I just stopped. But she stopped talking, because she was talking and going, and I started over talking her, which y'all know ain't easy to do. I started over talking her. You ain't got to say it like that though. And I screamed her name to get her attention. And I think sometimes it's the responsibility. If the people say they really love you, they're gonna love you and challenge you to be better. A lot of times people talking about, if you love me, then you riding with me. I'm not riding with you to go do some foolishness, but I'm gonna ride with you and help you be better. I wanted to protect Tina more than I cared about Mary Mary. That was priority number one. If more people took that kind of position, then people could go through it knowing that somebody's right there. Yeah, my
and if
family
you lean against, somebody is there to lean on.
Yeah.
I think this may be a little too gospel-y for y'all to understand, but the enemy will isolate you sometimes to overtake you.
Yeah.
God isolates you to elevate you. So you hear different, so you listen different. And sometimes you need some God isolation, and that's what she needed. And when she took it, look, she's still sitting here looking good as she want to look, don't she?
Please say looking good as she want to look.
Look good as she want to look.
Thank God for my family. Though. My family started a prayer line and everything.
Right.
They was like, oh no,
We get on
know
prayer
how to
every
do this.
morning at 7:30,
Man.
and every night at 6:10. It would have been easy for us to go, girl, just leave him. You got money. But we didn't do that. We was like, what about your kids? What do you want to do? We talked about faith. We talked about forgiveness. What do you really want to do? It's your choice.
And half the time, I ain't want to hear it. It was only two ways to go. I had to return to my faith, or I was going to go with what I was feeling. And I was like, this ain't a happy place. I'm going to just be miserable. So the whole people, the people lying like, I'm going to do this and I'm doing all this angry stuff and trying to act like they feel avenged.
You're not
You
sleeping
don't
good
feel
at night.
avenged. You don't feel avenged because you can't undo what happened to you.
Right.
You still hurt, you still broken, and that ain't nothing but ego trying to make yourself feel good about the things that you feel bad about. I said, I've been honest all my life. Ain't nobody lying in front and trying to act like I'm hard and I did this and all. I do all of that, and after it's all done, guess what? My husband still cheated on me. It wasn't taking nothing away. So I was like, I'm not doing all this angry, evil stuff, like, because the stuff that I did do, which I'll never mention, it'll never get me. It's never going to it never made me feel happy. It never made me feel avenged. It never made me feel better. I just continued to feel miserable, and I was like, I ain't gonna make myself feel miserable. We gotta move on. So that whole faking and acting like, this hardcore thing, just be honest with yourself. What do you gotta do to be better? So I focused on getting Tina better. We don't care nothing about, is this gonna work?
Right.
He need to, God, this is what I'm dealing with. And I didn't
this
realize
part
it
first.
until life got hard that I actually got some issues. I need you to help me deal with me, because Tina wants to smile again, no matter who's smiling with me, next to me, or not.